Hey food fans, welcome back to another edition of Then We Eat. On today's edition, we'll be making pie pan dinner rolls. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour. And to that, we're going to add an envelope of yeast. I buy my yeast in a bottle. The envelope works out to 2 teaspoons plus 1/4 teaspoon. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of flour. We're going to give that a small little mix. And to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of butter. Now this has been heated to about 120 degrees. So we'll add this in, add our warm mixture in, and we'll let that mix for about 2 minutes. I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl, make sure all our flour gets incorporated. And we'll continue mixing. Now to that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of flour. And I'm going to mix for another 2 minutes, and I'm going to keep doing that until it's all incorporated and it starts to look like bread. So we're going to do 1/4 cup at a time so we don't get a lot of lumps in here. Time to add the next little bit. And don't forget to give your sides of your pan a scrape down. Off we go again. I'm going to cheat, I'm going to add a little bit more this time. Make sure you get the sides scraped down. Off we go. I'm not sure I'm going to need all of this flour. That might be all I need. Okay, I think that's all the flour that we need. We've got a nice soft dough here. Now we're going to knead it for a few minutes on a well-floured surface. We'll just use the rest of the dough, the flour that we had. Pull all the dough off of our hook. And we'll scrape our dough out onto our board. Okay, so we're going to knead this for between 8 and 10 minutes until it's smooth and elasticy. Everybody knows how to knead bread, don't you? Use the palms of the heels of your palms. Push the bread out. Give it a 90-degree turn. Pull it back towards you. Use your palms, push it out, 90-degree turn, pull back towards you, and just keep doing that. You'll see your dough starts to get smooth and elasticy. If you find it starts to stick a little bit, you can just use a little bit extra flour. Okay, so our dough has been kneaded. It looks pretty good. I'm going to put it into a greased pan. Just put a little bit of oil in there. Use your fingers, rub it around. If you don't add oil to your bowl when you're letting your dough rise, your dough will stick and you'll have a harder time getting it out. It's not going to affect the taste of your bread, and it's not going to affect your rising. It's just going to affect how well you can get it in and out of your bowl. I like to take it, put it upside down, smush it around in the oil, and that way I can turn it over and it's well oiled. I'm going to cover this and let it sit for 30 minutes while it rises, and then we'll be back after 30 minutes. When I let my dough rise, I like to let it rise in the oven. So what I'll do is I'll turn the oven on for less than 30 seconds, just to kind of give it a little tiny bit of heat. Then I'll put my dough in, let it rise. If I find that the oven is a little too warm, I'll keep the door open. But that's the perfect place for me to let my dough rise. It's out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. Welcome back. Our dough has been rising. I meant to let you know it only needed to rest for 10 minutes and not 30 minutes. So our dough has been resting for 10 minutes. Now it's time for us to divide it into the 12 equal balls. Let's dump it out onto my cutting board. I'm a little anal at this, so I use a scale to make sure that I get my pieces the same size. If you're good at eyeballing it, you don't need the scale. Okay, that was a long process. I'm a little anal on this, but I've got them all measured out at the same size. So now we just want to form them into balls. So we'll just pinch up the corners Round them back out, fold them in, and roll it out. And there you've got a nice little ball. We'll do that for the remaining 11. All right, now you're going to put these in a well-greased pie pan. This is my pie pan. I've got a little bit of oil on the bottom, and I've just used this little pastry brush. Make sure that it's all brushed everywhere. Don't forget to get up on the sides. And we'll just put our rolls in the middle of the pan. Just like that. This time we're going to cover them, and this time we are going to let them sit for 30 minutes. We're just going to let them rise a little bit before they go in the oven for baking. So I'm going to cover these. We'll let them rise for 30 minutes, and we'll be back in 30 minutes after they've risen. Hi, welcome back. Our dinner rolls have been sitting. They've risen, they've doubled in size. They're looking pretty good. Now we're going to bake them in a 375-degree oven for 20 minutes. My oven is just preheating right now, so we'll just wait for the oven to beep, and then we'll put them in the oven. Okay, so our oven has beeped to let me know that we've reached the right temperature, so we'll put our rolls in, and we'll see you in 20 minutes when they come out of the oven. So our rolls are done. It's time to take them out of the oven. They look amazing. Now all that's left is to try one. Oh, look at that, they're nice and steaming. I'm gonna have a little bit of butter with mine. Look at how good they are. They're nice and brown. They sound nice and hollow. Let's try it. Oh, they're so good. They're perfectly cooked. They're nice and crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. They're quick, they're easy. All you have to do is just wait for a little bit of rise time, and there you have a perfect pan of dinner rolls. Perfect for pasta or chili or whatever you're having for dinner. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, comment down below. Do you make dinner rolls? If you do, what do you put in your dinner rolls? Share it with all your friends, and remember, first we cook, then we eat. So good.